Those hiking trails in Norway look so natural, like they were here all time long and were made by nature. But they were not. They were built manually by Nepalese workers. During the last decades, Sherpa builders have created or repaired more than 300 trails across Norway. So how did one of the richest countries in the world start to rely on workers from the Himalayas? And what does this teamwork mean for the Sherpas themselves? Not very long ago, Norway was not the tourism giant it is today. For example, in the early 1990s, only about 50,000 people visited the famous cliff Preikestolen each year. But by 2019, the number was more than 330,000. But why did tourism grow so fast at the beginning of the century? If we give a short answer, it's the 2000s.
Today our nation saw evil.
After 9/11 terrorist attack, the global economy shifted. US reduced interest rates and oil prices began to rise. Then OPEC cut production and prices climbed even more. The war in the Persian Gulf removed Iraqi oil from the world market. China was growing extremely fast and needed huge amounts of oil for its factories. Even the US invasion of Afghanistan added pressure to the market. In 1992, a barrel of oil cost around $22. By 2008, the price has jumped many times. And Norway was in a perfect position. The world needed more oil and prices were high. Norway had huge reserves and could supply much of this demand. The country used this money to build roads, bridges, and tunnels. Remote areas suddenly became much easier to reach.
Travel over long distances was time-consuming and expensive. Brand new roads and tunnels have gradually replaced narrow, twisting roads of western Norway, often prone to rock slides. Over the last years, priority has been given to expanding a national trunk road network that will bind different parts of the country together, reduce travel time, and offer cheaper transport for the national economy.
In 2001, Norway joined the Schengen zone, making it much easier for Europeans to enter the country without visas. Flights from major European cities take only about 2 hours. Norway also became more visible online. Pictures of fjords and the northern lights spread quickly on early social media. At the same time, people around the world became more interested in outdoor activities. All these factors created the perfect mix: good infrastructure, easy access, online popularity, and stunning nature. But the trails themselves could not handle the pressure. Norway's old mountain paths were never designed for so many visitors. Heavy foot traffic damaged the ground and the plants around it. The country needed to rebuild many trails quickly, but there were not enough local workers with the right skills. This is when one man, Geir Betty, had an unusual idea. In an interview with the BBC, Geir said, "I woke suddenly and thought they would be perfect for the job. I remembered a Norwegian expedition to Mount Everest, and some of the guys' names stayed in my memory. So I tracked them down and wrote letters to ask if the Sherpas could help." And they could. Sherpas have a long tradition of building stone paths in mountain terrain. Their techniques are strong, long-lasting, and gentle to the landscape. Studies also show that Sherpa bodies use oxygen more effectively, a natural result of living at high altitude. When we contacted Geir ourselves, he shared more details. It started 23 years ago with one Sherpa, Sonam Sherpa, 64 years old, and slowly growing year by year to 50 Sherpa. This year, 32 Sherpa. He also said Norway has a tradition for stone steps on the west coast. We continued this tradition and make it even better. Because of the Sherpas, Norway could protect fragile landscapes, build strong trails, and make hiking safer for millions of people. We are working in Norway from north to south and also in Sweden and the Faroe Islands. Mostly we continue the old Norwegian tradition, but we use knowledge from the Nepal too. The plan is to keep building trails and also do more stone walls for houses and fields. For the Sherpas, this work also brings benefits. We could not speak directly with Sherpa workers, but according to Dagens Nyheter, many are happy to work in Norway.
Going in Norway is like we got to see the new world. It is very safe to walk there. People are very friendly, very nice, and we get to earn a good amount of money.
In Nepal, many Sherpas earn money by guiding climbers on Mount Everest. This job pays well, sometimes more than $9,000 per expedition, but it is extremely dangerous. Charing Sherpa, who has worked in Norway 13 times, said that his father was also a mountain guide and died on Everest when Ang was in 7th grade. He says he's grateful that he does not have to take the same risks. Working in Norway is safer and more stable, and most importantly, the money they earn supports entire communities. Sherpa villages often share income to improve life for everyone. According to Daigen Naite, money earned in Norway helped build a modern hospital, a clean water system, a community center, and earthquake-resistant houses with metal roofs. For many families, this work changed life completely. This cooperation gives Norway strong and beautiful mountain trails that can handle millions of visitors. And it gives Sherpas safe work, good pay, and the ability to help their communities. Sometimes, the most surprising teamwork creates the strongest path, one stone step at a time.